Coming up today on the Trust the Plan podcast, it's Dave Ramsey's 10 money myths broke people believe. Don't be like Grandpa Joe. All of this is coming up next. Welcome everyone to the Trust the Plan podcast. This is episode 215. I'm Nick.
And I'm Jim.
And Jim, it's getting time for winter break, midwinter break, like President's Weekend, right?
Yeah.
So what do you got in store?
At this point, I don't have a lot in store. We have a volleyball tournament we need to travel for at the end of the week, but just looking for any excuse to try to get out of town. So we might try to squeeze in a few days somewhere before that tournament to get some warm weather. The winter starts wearing on you at that point.
Sure does.
How about you?
Yeah, we need some blue skies.
Yeah.
Well, I went with Jack a few years ago to Park City, Utah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fantastic skiing.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pricing out a trip to Utah again, and I was shell-shocked with the price.
Uh-huh.
In 21, I thought it was expensive as heck,
Mm-hmm.
and now it's actually 60% more expensive than it was in 21.
Wow.
So guess what I did?
Booked it anyway.
Nope.
Okay.
I booked for Jack and I a trip to northern Italy over President's Week
Okay.
for less
Wow.
than it would cost to ski in Utah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So the flights are more,
Uh-huh.
but everything else is like less than half.
Wow.
So I have a theory. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Vail, right, the ski hill in Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
the company Vail Resorts, they've gone and bought up all the big ski hills in the country
Yeah.
and just jacked the rates to the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why.
Yeah, I heard. You can kind of see them laying that foundation over the last few years, but yeah, maybe
It's
they
sad.
reached the point where they can do it.
Capitalist pigs.
That sounds like it.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm excited about that. You know,
It seems like a really cool
and
experience.
and you have more days skiing. You know, you just have
Yeah.
to suffer through the red eye, but
Yeah,
at least it's Delta.
yeah,
That's good.
very cool.
All right. So what are we talking about today on the podcast?
I always enjoy coming across these Dave Ramsey articles that are interesting to me. So this one that came out was called 10 Money Myths That Broke People Believe. We know Dave Ramsey's always calling people broke and all that kind of stuff. But a few of them were interesting points, and I thought, they get used so often as an excuse. Is why you can't be successful. And I think that they're we're able to overcome these kind of things. So the first one, he says, I can save money later, right? You're young. Why do I need to start saving money now? To me, that's a huge pitfall, right? Because, I know the value of money put away today versus money put away 10, 15 years down the road, right? Compounding is the eighth wonder of the world.
Yeah, the time value, you can't get that back.
Right.
I agree.
So you like that one?
Yes.
So yeah, I think waiting to save money, it's a big excuse, and it's one that causes you to start in a really big hole. Second one was used cars aren't safe. To me, that's another one that kind of sounds like an excuse.
Who said that? Did Dave say that?
Yeah. Yeah, Dave's big on buying a beater and just drive it and all that kind of stuff, right? But used cars for the most part are safe. But I think when he writes that, it's easy to say, well, it's your excuses why you need a newer car and a nicer car and why you need to spend more on the car, right? Safety. So how can you negotiate it with safety, right? How can you argue that? So he's saying that that's a myth.
Yeah, I've only bought one new car in my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, always used.
Were they safe?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm a very safe driver.
Well, there you go. Third one was my family needs the best or they won't be happy. What do you think of that one?
I think it's funny because like 10 years ago, we were thinking about finishing the basement,
Mm-hmm.
and my wife didn't want to do it, and I really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And we put a theater, a big screen projection screen and everything in there.
Right.
So I trained Hunter was probably like 3, or 3 or 4. And I trained him to say, Mommy, please let us finish the basement so I can be happy.
Oh, there you go.
He did it so much that he memorized it, right? Like as a little toddler.
Right.
And it worked.
Yeah. That is funny. To me, that's keeping up with the Joneses, right?
For sure.
That's a huge pitfall if you're always trying to keep up with the latest and the greatest. I think, and especially in today's world with social media and everybody's putting pictures of this and that and the new stuff they got, that's a really dangerous
I also go
trap.
back to the concept of lifestyle creep, also the concept of baseline level of happiness.
Yeah. Yep.
Go back and check those
Those
multiple
were
episodes on those topics.
A couple of good podcasts for sure. Fourth one kind of goes back to the first one in my mind a little bit. I can't win with money. I'm too old, right? It's the, well, why start now? I'm gonna, I'm already so far behind. And blah, blah,
I
blah.
can't win. You know what that reminds me of is, what's that Tom Hanks movie with the train, the Christmas movie?
Oh, Polar Express.
Yeah, Polar Express.
Yeah.
Remember, like when they're picking up the kids in the early part of the movie, the little blonde boy, he's not sure if he wants to get on.
Yeah.
And then he finally does get on, and he says, "Well, Christmas just doesn't work out for me.
Yeah.
Christmas just doesn't work out for me.
Yeah.
I can't win with money. I can't win with money." I don't know. That just, to me,
Right.
like, change your mindset.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, there's one saying that I really liked a lot. It was ancient Chinese proverb, right? It says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time was today.
Yeah.
It's even if you got a late start, even if you're behind, you're not doing any good to wait. Fifth one, my credit score is everything. How important do you feel like the credit score is?
Well, I have a good credit score, so I never think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure. But I would say you shouldn't obsess about it because it can be fixed quickly,
Mm-hmm.
and it shouldn't drive all of your decisions.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is if you're focusing on your credit score, it's because you're thinking about how much money can I borrow to buy more stuff, right? I think that's probably where Dave Ramsey's trying to go with something like that.
Yeah.
Sixth one is I earned this. Hey, I'm out there working hard. Why should I have to save some of this money? Why should I have to put it away? I deserve a vacation. I deserve nice things. I deserve nice clothes and that new car and so forth.
Well, this is interesting because if you peel back the layers, right, I think that it's partly true, right? If I got a big bonus or I had a big commission or whatever the case may be, I might want to reward myself, right? And I tell people this, there's three things you can do when you get a windfall, right? You can save and invest, you can pay stuff off, or you can spend it. And I think it's okay to reward yourself for a little bit, but then you have to put the lion's share to either one or two. And it doesn't I'm not going to be upset with you if you decide you want to pay stuff off rather than invest, or if you want to invest rather than pay stuff off. They're both good choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's only one really bad choice. Let's try and mitigate that to a smaller amount.
Yep, I like that. 7, if I make more money, the government will take it away.
Well, the more you make, the more they take, right?
Yeah.
But you shouldn't take that to the nth degree and say, I'm gonna stop working or saving or stop working or earning because it's just going to Uncle Sam. I have a friend who's a plumber who just started his own business, and he's been dealing with this. Last year he got a big tax bill, and he called me, belly aching about how, he had to write such a big check at the end of the year. He doesn't want to work anymore.
Yeah.
And I just had to explain, that's really not how it works, and you need to, keep grinding. Right. And if you want to get ahead, take advantage of the tax savings opportunities that the government offers us.
Yeah, for sure. It also reminds me of the people who want, I don't want to pay off my mortgage because I want the write-off, right? These kind of decisions, I mean, there's obviously some truth to it, right? Like you said, you make more, the government takes more, but like it's a percentage, right? And you still get more of the percentage, right? Just like the mortgage, you're paying more in interest than you're getting the benefit of the write-off. So,
and you're doing the standard deduction, so it doesn't even matter. So right. That just means it's anyway. The follow-up question that I like to ask is, do you like making the payment? And no one likes making the payment.
Yeah, that's an easier answer.
Yeah.
Number 8, I don't need insurance. Remember we did a podcast a while back about that, how some of the ultra wealthy were forgoing insurance, and we thought that seemed pretty crazy.
Yeah, like homeowners insurance in the hurricane zone.
Right. Yeah. To me, that's just nobody likes insurance when you don't need it, but when you do need it, you're glad you have it. So I think it's probably just a way people are looking to just free up some cash flow to spend on stuff. This number 9, my neighbors have it, and I should too, right? And maybe I jumped the gun. That's more of the keeping up with the Joneses one, right?
Yeah.
Number 10, I'll always be broke, right? So, that one kind of goes back to a lot of things we talked about. If you didn't start early, you'll always be broke. If you didn't start late, well, why start now, right? All these kind of things are just excuses not to save. But, I think that there's reasons to, wherever you're at in life, there's reasons to start making positive steps to good financial decisions.
Yeah, and it's decisions and mindset. And I could see number 10 there, I'll always be broke, going two ways, right? One where they have a good job, right? The income is good, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
This is like my dad, right? He had a good job for like 45 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he'd always say, always complain about the bills. It was never ending, right? That's why I'm here, by the way, okay? Because my why is to make sure that you can retire with confidence, and learn from other people's mistakes. And we can be here to coach you. But there's that person, right? And so, we just need to really do some expense tracking, figure out what's going wrong. Maybe there's a structural problem with your expenses, and figure out how to fix that, and we can help. The other person is someone who just has, a low income, they're underperforming, right? Maybe they do have good talent and good skills, but they're just not being rewarded. They're in the wrong industry. They're in the wrong seat on the bus.
Yeah.
Okay. And they just need to unlock some potential, or make a change.
Believe in themselves. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other person that reminds me of are the people who say, well, I'll just work forever. It doesn't matter. I'll just die at my desk, right? Well, in theory, maybe all things that could work, right? You just keep working forever, but we don't know how long we can work, and sometimes you can't work as long as you want. So it's important that you're planning ahead for the what ifs as well.
Yeah, I was watching Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Quinn a couple weeks ago, and Charlie's grandfather can't get out of bed for 20 some years.
Yeah.
They're all four of them are just laying there in the bed forever. If you can't get out of bed because you're disabled,
right,
then you're not going to be able to.
That plan doesn't work. That plan's no longer good.
And Charlie's grandpa, he probably said, "I'll just work forever, and I'll die at my desk." But then he became disabled somehow.
Right.
But then magically he could get out of bed. I don't know. Like, I always wondered, how does he go to the bathroom? Right? Like,
I don't know.
How do they prepare their meals?
Yeah.
They're just always laying there in bed.
Yeah.
It's kind of sick and twisted. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't like that movie.
Okay. Not a recommendation.
Nope. Never liked it. And they just keep making new ones, which I'll never see. Never.
Fair enough.
Okay, so that was number 10, right?
That was it. Yep.
Okay, so we're good. Okay, Jim. So at Peak, we believe by providing education and guidance, we can inspire you to make great financial decisions so you can retire with peak confidence. You can learn more at peakwm.com.